The Enuma Elish, which are the first two words of the epic, and mean simply, when on high, is the creation myth of ancient Mesopotamia. This is the Babylon version of the much older Sumerian myth, and originally the chief figure of the myth was Enlil, the Sumerian storm god. When Babylon conquered the rest of Mesopotamia and was established the Old Babylon Empire around 18 BCE, it became necessary to explain how the local god of Babylon, Marduk, had become supreme amongst the gods. Therefore, the older Sumerian myth of creation was retold, and Marduk was substituted for Enlil. When on high, the heavens have not been named. Firm ground below has not been called by name. Not but primordial Apsu, their begetter, and Imamu, Tiamat, she who bore them all. Their water is commonly as a single body, no reed, but has been matted. No marshland had appeared, when no gods whatsoever had been brought into being, unnamed their destinies, yet undetermined. When it was, were emerged from within them, Lamu and Lahamu came forth, were called by name, before they had grown in age and stature. Anshar and Kishar were shaped, more mighty than the others. They extended the days, added on years. Anu was their hail, rival of his father. Verily, Anu, Anshar's firstborn, was his equal. Anu served his image, Nudemud. This Nudemud was the master of his father, of broad wisdom, understanding, mighty in strength, mightier by far than his grandfather Anshar. He had no rivals amongst the gods. His brothers, the divine brothers, banded together. They disturbed Tiamat as they rushed here and there. Indeed, they distraught and tormented Tiamat by their boisterous mirth in the dwelling of heaven. Apsu could not diminish their clamor, and Tiamat was dumbfounded at their ways. Their doings were loathsome to him, offensive and overbearing were their ways. Then Apsu, the begetter of their great gods, cried out, addressing Mamu, his vizier, O Mamu, my vizier, who rejoice my spirit, come here and let us go to Tiamat. They went and sat down before Tiamat, exchanging counsel about the gods. Their offspring, Apsu, opened his mouth, said unto the radiant Tiamat, their ways are truly abominable unto me. By day I find no relief, nor repose by night. I will destroy, I will wreck their ways, that quiet may be restored. Let us have rest. As soon as Tiamat heard this, she was troubled. She called out to her husband. She cried out, and she raged all alone, injecting woe into her mood. What? Say we destroy, which we have produced? Their ways indeed most troublesome, but let us practice kindness. Then answered Mumu, giving counsel to Apsu. Rude and ungracious was Mamu's advice. Destroy, my father, their rebellious ways. Then shall you have relief by day, and rest by night. When Apsu heard this, his face grew luminous. Because of the evil he planned against his godly sons, he embraced Momu by the neck as he sat down on his knee to kiss him. Now, whatever they had plotted between them was repeated unto the gods, their firstborn. When the gods heard this, they were astonished, then lapsed into silence as they remained speechless. Superior in wisdom, accomplished and resourceful, Ea, the all-wise, saw through their design, made artful his spell against it, surpassing and holy. He recited it and made it subside in deep as he poured sleep unto him. Sound asleep he lay. When he had made Apsu lie prone, deep in sleep, Mamu, the advisor, was powerless to stir. He, missing lines, loosened Apsu's band, tore off his tiara, removed his halo, and put it on himself. Having constrained Apsu, he slew him. Mamu he bounded and locked, having thus upon Apsu established his ascendance, laid hold of Mamu, holding him by the nose rope. After Ea vanished and trampled down his foes, he assured his triumph over his evil. In profound peace, he rested in his sacred chamber. He named it Apsu. 4 shrines he assigned it. He founded his cult in the same place. Ea, in Demka, his wife, dwelled there in splendor. In the chamber of fates, the house of destinies, a god was engendered, more able and wisest of gods. In heart of holy Apsu, was Marduk created. He who begot him was Ea, his father. Missing lines? Now Tiamat renewed the conflict and created an army of monsters. This time, even the great Ea could not withstand the attacks, and the gods decided to ask young Marduk to defend them against Tiamat. Missing lines? Lord Anshar, father of the gods, rise up in grandeur, and having ponder in his heart, he said to the Anunnaki, lines missing, he whose strength is potent shall be our avenger. He who is sharp in battle, Marduk, the hero. Ea called Marduk into his secluded presence. Giving counsel, he told him what was in his heart. Missing lines? Marduk came forth, the wisest of gods, your son. His heart prompted him to face Tiamat. He opened his mouth, saying to me, if indeed, as your avenger, I am to vanquish Tiamat and save your lives, convene the assembly and proclaim supreme my destiny. When jointly in Upshakina you sat down rejoicing, let my word instead of yours determine the fates. What I may bring into being shall be unchangeable, neither dismissed nor replaced shall be the command of my lips. Now hasten hither, and promptly fix for him your decrees, that he may go forth to face your mighty foe. They erected for him a ample throne. Facing his fathers, he sat down, presiding. You are the most honored of the great gods. Your decree is unrivaled. Your command in Anu. Missing lines? You, Marduk, are the most honored of the great gods. Your decree is unrivaled. Your word is Anu. From this day, unchangeable, it shall be your pronouncement. Don't agree to any of this, by the way. Clear soul. To rise or bring low, these shall be in your hand. Your utterance shall be true. Your command shall be impeachable. No one amongst the gods shall transgress your bounds. Adornment, being wanted for the seats of the gods. Let the place of their shrines ever be in your place. O Marduk, you are indeed our avenger. We have granted you the kingship over the entire universe. Your word shall be supreme when you sit in assembly. Your weapons shall not fail. They shall smash your foes. O Lord, spare the life of him who trusts you, but pour out the life of the God who sees the evil. Having placed in their midst a piece of cloth, they addressed themselves to Marduk, their firstborn. Lord, truly your decree is first among the gods. Say but to wreck or create, it shall be. Open your mouth, the cloth will vanish. Speak again, and the cloth shall be whole. At the word emerged from his mouth, the cloth vanished. He spoke again. His fathers saw the outcome of his words. When the gods, his fathers, saw the outcome of his word, joyful, they paid homage. Marduk is king. They conferred on him scepter, throne, and vestment. They gave him unequal weapons that ward off the foes. Go and terminate the life of Tiamat. May the winds bear her blood to the places undisclosed. Marduk's destinies thus fixed the gods, his fathers, caused him to go the way of success and achievement. He constructed a bow, marked it as his weapon, attached thereto the arrow, grasped it in his right hand. He raised the mace, grasped it in his right hand. He hung the bow and the quiver at his side. In front of him he sat the lightning. He filled his body with blazing heat. He then made a net to enfold Tiamat. He stationed the four winds, that nothing of her might escape. The south wind, the north wind, the east wind, the west wind. Close to his side he held the net, the gift of his father, Anu. He brought forth Imahalu, the evil wind, the whirlwind, the hurricane, the fourfold wind, the sevenfold wind, the cyclone, the matchless wind. This he sent forth, the seven winds he had brought forth, to stir up the inside of Tiamat. They rose up behind him. The Lord raised up the floodstorm, his mighty weapon. He mounted the storm chariot, irresistible and terrifying. He harnessed, then yoked to it a team of four, the killer, the relentless, the trampler, the swift. Sharp were their poison, barren teeth. They were versed in ravage, skilled in destruction. On his right he posted the smiter, fearsome in battle. On his left, the combat, which repels all the zealous. His cloak was an armor of terror. His head was turbaned with his fearsome halo.